Knock it down the competition with the hottest party certified hip hop and R&B mixes. 953 Jamz.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I am David Austin, and welcome back to the Morning Drive with David Austin and Cheryl Underwood Radio, heard exclusively on Houston's Home for Jamz. That is 953jams.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what the assignment is. Make sure you go to all of your social media posts and go to 953JAMZ. That's good for Facebook. That's good for Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Find and follow us right there. That's all you got to do. As promised, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. You heard the song. Everybody knows that song. My mind's playing tricks. You know what that means? That means that I'm going to have in with me right now none other than Willie D. This gentleman is a founding member of the Ghetto Boys. There isn't anyone who doesn't know their music, and there isn't one that doesn't know this man right here. But right now, he's stepping away from the rap game and into the political arena, which may prove to be a little bit tougher because he has thrown his hat in the ring for City Council for District B, a district where he and I both grew up. Welcome to the program, Willie D.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I want to break protocol real quick.
There you go.
And just say, man, you're really good at this. I've been listening to you, man. I'm like, yeah, this dude. Because, I always, when we see each other, right. It's always casual,
right.
It's at some event or
right.
we just hanging out at the crib or whatever. But, man, you're really good at this.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I like that endorsement. You heard that. You know what? I felt my dollars go up right there. I don't know if they really did, but that's what I felt. The price just went up. I have the endorsement of none other than Willie D. All right, Will, let's get into it. You're running for city council.
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this. Before we move forward, let's do this because on yesterday, we found out that Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker, died. He succumbed to the injuries that he suffered. He was struck by a vehicle in his home state of Virginia. So we lost a great guy and a great champion, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. You knew Pernell. How did you feel about that situation?
Oh man, I was heartbroken. Pernell was a great champion and a greater human being.
Right.
See, he wore his heart on his sleeves. He wasn't the type of, he was my kind of guy. He wasn't a politically correct type of guy.
Right.
He was like, this is who I am.
Right.
I come from a good place. I love people. I love my children, my family, my friends, and I'm gonna protect them.
Right.
He was a provider and a protector, and he was loyal.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think that you can ask for that much more out of a man.
I'm gonna tell a Willie D-esque type story. When I met Pernell Whitaker, I was actually in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Had just come back from Desert Storm. Been out on the water for God knows how long. Haven't been around a lady. Look crazy. First thing we did, we go to the barbershop to get our haircut. Me and my group, and it's the same weekend he's fighting Poli Diaz in the Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're at the barbershop. Saturday at the barbershop, there's 1 million people in there. We've been in there a couple of hours.
You're in LA?
Yeah. No. We're in Norfolk because he was going to fight in his hometown.
Okay.
He's fighting at the Spectrum, in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
So he comes in with his entourage, and they're like, the champ is here, the shop is closed.
Right.
Everybody out.
Right.
And we like, wait a minute, we've been in here for over 2 hours. Somebody's cutting our hair. So when I meet Pernell for the first time, we're about to fight.
Right.
But he's like, no, everything is cool. They break out the food and the drinks. We end up having like a little party. But he was the nicest guy you ever wanted to meet, man. Yeah. And I was so heartbroken, like you said, to hear that he was gone. We lost a great one on Sunday night.
We did a great competitor in the ring and in life.
No, absolutely, he was. So let's get into it. It's the elephant in the room. Willie D comes with a certain amount of controversy that's already built in. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go ahead and go, just go and knock it out the way so we can talk about your candidacy for city council. Let me start here. Would Willie D benefit from learning to deflect if you're going to be a politician? Because, when you deflect, you're not really answering the question. You're like, move on, let's talk about something else. Mm-hmm. Because you have been brutally honest when people ask you questions.
Right.
And now YouTube has come alive with everything that you've ever said. And I'm not going to say it's in an effort to slow down your political career, but people are capitalizing on your political career right now by bringing all these things up.
Right.
So would Willie D benefit from learning to deflect?
I can't say that I would because I think that's what's wrong with politics.
Right.
That's what's wrong in the first place, is that people are doing too much deflecting,
Right.
and not addressing the issues, and not being cognizant of the people's concerns.
Right.
And I'm that guy. I
Right.
think that's what sets me apart from everybody else, is that I'm not going to be politically correct. You want me to come in and do the job. If you want a city council person to come in and do the job in District B, you're tired of the infrastructure problems.
Right.
You're tired of the unemployment situation. You're tired of the lack of community police involvement.
Right.
You know, you're tired of the trash pileups,
Right.
the drainage issues, the
Right.
potholes. Hey man, you know, you want to get somebody who can do the job. You don't want to get somebody who's going to tell you what you want to hear,
Right.
and then not do anything.
Right.
See, and there's too much of that going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's who you want, hey, you know, I don't want to just tell you to go vote for my opponent, but man, you know, I'm not your guy if that's what you want.
Right.
But if you want the work done, I mean,
Right.
just look at my record. People know I'm about that action.
Right.
If I tell you something, if I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna
Right.
do it. That's who I am.
Mhm.
'Cause I've always been that way. I'm not just like that publicly, I'm like that privately.
Right. Right.
There has never been a time where I promised my kids that I would be somewhere and we would go somewhere and I was
Right.
gonna do something for them and I didn't do it.
Right.
I'm a man of my word.
And that makes you different from most. That alone makes you different from most.
Yeah, and that's what I'm not gonna get to 52 years old and then start becoming somebody I can't recognize in the mirror.
Wow. Wow. I like that statement right there. So with that being said, but what would you say to the people in District B? Based on what you just said, okay, and I agree with that. I like that idea. But sometimes the keys to the kingdom are held by someone else. And so if that individual decides they don't want to work with you because of the fact that you don't hold your tongue, if I'm in District B, should I be concerned that maybe, you know, Willie's honesty is going to tick off the wrong person and now there's something that we need that's not going to come as quickly as it should or at all because he doesn't hold his tongue from time to time?
The thing is that what you need ain't coming no way. All right? So ain't nothing getting done no way.
Right.
So you got somebody gonna tell you something pretty that's gonna go in there and say pretty things and just make you feel good
Right.
and not get anything done anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want somebody gonna go in there and ride.
Right.
You want somebody gonna go in there and fight for the issues.
Right.
You know, you hit me up, look man, I'm gonna have a problem sleeping if I don't get the work done.
Right.
Because I know it's not just the fact that I know that my feet is gonna be held to the fire. I have a reputation for getting things done. I have a reputation for doing what I say I'm gonna do. I have a reputation for not running away from issues and problems. I have a reputation for accountability.
Right.
I hold myself accountable first and foremost. So I'm just not that type of dude who's gonna get in there and then just try to go along to get along. I've seen that happen too many times, and politicians sell the people out. They go in and just tell the people anything they want to hear. Then once they get in office, they just do whatever they want to do, and you know, and then the people are oftentimes just give up instead of saying, you know what, we finna boot back up and go back in and boot this fool right out, just like we booted him in.
Right.
Just like we pushed him in the office,
Right.
we're about to boot him straight up out of office.
Right.
That's the thing that I would like to see happen more often, is that instead of people giving up when they do vote for someone, that they don't just give up and walk away from the process, the political process.
Right.
I think that they should have that same amount of energy to get that person out of office. And I think only then will politicians start adhering to the call or to the will of the people.
And see, and I like that answer, and I know it's not a popular answer, but for me, you know, I grew up in District B, so maybe growing up in that area, you know, maybe that teaches us a different way to look at life and how to be. But I'd rather know the truth. Don't tell me. There's a saying that says truth to power.
Right.
So as a king, I need to know what's really going on. That's the only way that I can fix it. And we need more people telling the truth about what's out there. I like what you're saying, but I will ask you this, because obviously there are going to be the comparisons that are made because you're running for city council, as is your friend Brad Jordan. He's running for city council. Now, Brad Jordan is running for city council, not Scarface.
Right.
Willie D is running for city council. So your public persona, the one that people know from the music, from the entertainment, that's what they will associate that to, for better or for worse. So when you have entities like a Vlad TV, which you've done several interviews for,
Right.
so I would assume that the relationship with Vlad TV is solid. Otherwise, you wouldn't continue to do interviews with him. Is that still the same? And I'm not looking for for dirt, but just from the standpoint of like right now, the interview that you did, where he asked you about Bushwick Bill and things like that. That interview has been chopped up and released in these small bites for what seems like a long time, and so much so that I went to YouTube to pull some music. I type in Willie D and Vlad TV comes up first, right? So this is what comes up when you pull up Willie D. Without putting in anything, just put in Willie and the D, this is what comes up. Willie D on Bushwick Bill's money problems, him and Scarface refusing to do the charity tour. Willie D didn't attend Bushwick Bill's funeral. Willie D on Bushwick Bill leaving the Ghetto Boys and never getting along with him. Willie D, Bushwick Bill will pick up a gun or a knife during a fight. Willie D speaks on multiple physical altercations with Bushwick Bill. These are all different videos. Willie D, I thought Bushwick Bill would have killed himself 20 years ago with the way he lived. Willie D on Bushwick pulling a gun on him. Willie D, Bushwick had a problem with drugs and alcohol. And that's just that. Still, in that same line of videos, Trey D shocked Willie D beat up Bushwick Bill. He's only 3'9". Willie D, I robbed the promoter that was trying not to pay us. Willie D, Bill Cosby worth $400 million. He should have bought the judge and the jury. Willie D wishes Stacey Dash and Don Lemon got shot. Charles Barkley is a homo. So he's broken those videos down that were like 2 interviews and turned it into that. So when somebody's thinking about, okay, Willie D, and they pull you up, this is what you see. Has that ever been a concern for you that is taking place? And does that in any way change the way you think about doing those interviews with an entity like a Vlad TV?
Nope. Nope. Because let me tell you something, man. I'm a man first.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not a politician first. I'm
Right.
a man first.
Right.
And everybody knows that I speak my truth.
Right.
I'm not going to bite my tongue because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Now, I don't go around trying to hurt people's feelings just to hurt people's feelings.
Right.
I don't do that.
Right.
But I'm not going to not tell my truth to spare your feelings.
Right.
Like, do you want real or do you not? Just tell me and I'll go away.
Right.
Do you want people to be real or not?
Right.
Do you want people who are to come into a political office and a whole political office who can relate to the people or not, and that the people can relate to or not?
Right.
You trying to look for somebody perfect? I ain't your guy.
Right.
I have a past.
Right.
I've made mistakes in the past.
Right.
But I've also done a whole lot of good. I've done way more good than I've ever could imagine doing wrong. And that is because the reason why I do that is because that's just who I am.
Right.
And I believe that I've been spared God's wrath because I've done so much good.
Right.
I've done so much. There's so many stories where I help people along in life.
Right.
I forgot. It's stuff that I've done, and people come up to me. You gave me a ride home. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was out, and it was at the bus stop, and you gave me a ride home.
Right.
And you did this for me. You did this. I don't. Some of it I don't even remember, or they have to jog my memory because that's what I do. It's not just something. I didn't just start like running for this office. I didn't start doing stuff in the public, in the community, because I'm running for office.
Right.
I've been doing this for over 30 years.
Right. It's just that now that you're running for office, people are starting to pay
It's
attention.
documented. It's
Right.
documented. And as far as these interviews and stuff like that, if you want to pick apart an interview or just say, see, you really want somebody like that?
Right.
Those are words. Let's talk about actions, because actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of people tell you anything. I know people who give great interviews and real nice middle of the road interviews, and you know, don't step on no toes, and it's just beautiful. Everything come out their mouth is just beautiful, and it's just like, yeah, that's the guy I want to have lunch with, and I would like to have coffee with him, and da. And he's selling the whole community out.
Right.
He's selling everybody out. He going there and he cutting deals under the table that's where only he and his boys benefit.
Right.
You know, the Trump types. Okay. It's all about them. They'll tell you what they want, what you want. Well, Trump won't tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah,
he'll tell you his constituents.
Right.
You know, he'll tell the people that he pandered to. He'll tell them what they want to hear. But he don't care what nobody else thinks. Right? So the people in District B know Willie D.
Right.
So all this stuff that somebody trying to that's outside of the community, or even if they inside and they got a bone to pick with me or whatever, all this stuff that they're trying to say, it can't match up to my record. It don't match. Saying that Willie D is this or that, trying to attack my character based on some interviews, you attack me based on who I am.
Right.
Attack me based on my actions. Cause ain't no sucker in me. I don't have no sucker record.
Right.
I don't have nothing on my record that indicates suckerism.
Right.
Nothing. You can't go dig it up. Even my relationship with women, the women in my past, we good because I've always carried myself in a certain light, and I understand that you have to take the good with the bad in every situation. You can't be in a relationship with a woman and then when things go bad, you only point out the bad things about the woman. Well, what about all them good times y'all had together?
Right.
It was some real good times, especially if you have kids. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids together, and you calling this woman all kind of names and stuff. Man, you take the good with the bad. I understand initially when a relationship go bad, there's hard feelings, and you got to get over that. There's a process to that. I get that. But at some point, you got to be civil toward one another because you're raising human beings, and you're dealing with somebody you spent your life with and you slept next to.
Right.
You know that means something. That has to count for something. So I take my bitter with my sweet, and there is nothing on my record ever that indicates any suckerism. You can't pull it up. All you can do is try to make up something and say and try to attack my character based on how you feel, your emotions. But I'm gonna give you some facts.
Right. You know, the first time I actually saw you in person, way back in the day when you guys first started, I actually ran into you at a Home Depot. You was renting a tool for somebody to fix some problem they had at their house. So I understand exactly what you're saying.
I've been going to these I've been going to the nursing homes, uplifting the spirits of the elderly. Been doing this for over 30 years, bro. I've been feeding the elderly. I've been going to the schools, talking to the youngsters, motivating the youngsters to try to be the best they can be. I've been going to the prison, speaking to some guys who's getting out in a week, some guys who ain't never getting out. And I got to find the balance to give them both what they need.
Absolutely.
To move on, to go forward. I've been lending my money, my time, my influence, my resources. And it don't get no realer than actions. People always say actions speak louder than words. Okay, look at my actions. Okay? I'm sorry if I ain't the most eloquently speaking guy. You know, I don't know how to do that really. You know, without feeling fake. I don't know how to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not that type of guy. And that's why I'm associating Willie D closely with Willie Dennis, because if not for Willie D, Willie Dennis ain't sitting here talking to you.
That's a valid point. So let's get to the list.
Yeah.
Bitter.
Why would I be bitter when I don't have anything to be bitter about? As far as like, I put Bill on. And this answers 2 questions. Because one of the things that his son said was that Bill and Reddy Red told Jay to go get me and Brad and put us in the group. Bill was hanging out in the studio, drinking, hanging out, just hanging. He was not going to even be in the group. He was a dancer. He used to open up for the Ghetto Boys before I joined the group. He was just hanging out in the studio. We wasn't going to even have him in the group. I saw him rapping Public Enemy, a Public Enemy song. And a light came on, and I said, let's put Bill in the group. Everybody started laughing. I said, you see, that's what everybody else is gonna do. The world's gonna do that. But when I write him these lyrics, they're gonna respect me.
Oh, say that again.
What part?
You said when I write him these lyrics.
When I write him these lyrics, they're gonna respect it. Yeah. So I'm the reason why he got in the group.
Right.
I'm the one who made Bushwick Bill a rapper. I'm the one who wrote his first rap. I'm the one who wrote his subsequent raps for the album. I'm the one. And I'm the one who despite our disagreements that we had prior to me basically suggesting that he become a member of the group, because we got into a physical altercation prior to that. I overlooked that, and I saw the bigger picture.
Put the business first.
Put the business first. And so that's how Bill became a ghetto boy rapper. So when you start talking about being bitter, man, I know how to compartmentalize situations, and you have to do that in life. So I'm being bitter. If I was bitter about something, I'd figure out a way to remedy what it is I'm bitter about.
Right. And I cannot argue with what you're saying. And being on the outside looking in, if I had to listen to those two stories, I'd have to say that yours has more credibility to me. It just makes more sense for where we ended up. I don't know. I know where we started. I know where we ended up. There's only so many ways you can get there.
And let me tell you something else. Listen to Bill rapping by himself and listen to him on Ghetto Boy Records. It's night and day, bro.
Right. And you know, I was running those songs through my head when you said that, and I was thinking,
it's night and day. It's not even in the same league.
It's very different.
So, you know, that is hilarious to me for a kid who wasn't even born to tell the world how the Ghetto Boys came to be, or how Bushwick Bill came to be a rapper. That is very hilarious.
Except for the verse he dropped on Two to the Head with Cube and Face and Coogee Rap. I thought that was pretty good.
He didn't write it?
Do you know who wrote it?
And yeah, I don't know who wrote it, but I know he didn't write it.
Oh man. Lack of respect.
Yeah, lack of respect again. You know, like, I think that it's a situation where if somebody hears something that they don't like, they feel like that you're being disrespectful. I don't think that when someone dies, you should change your tone.
Right.
I don't think so. I think that's disingenuous. If that's what you want, then go get that from somebody else. But if you live your life by a certain code and you are a respectful person, then quite naturally, respect is gonna come with that. Right. You know, if I go out there, I mean, look, there's people in this world right now, like Donald Trump's, right? He don't respect nothing. Right. Why would anybody respect him? That's why he gets so much disrespect. He gets so much disrespect because he's very, very disrespectful. Right. So you gotta give respect to get respect. And I don't give nobody respect that don't give respect.
I can't argue with that.
But one thing about me is that I will give respect before even receiving it. I will immediately give respect just out of common courtesy, out of just, you know, out of the human connection. Right. I automatically respect everyone. You have to, like, do something. You have to disrespect me to be disrespected. I respect little children. Right. You know, there are some people who, because kids are little, they feel like they can talk to them anyway, do them any kind of way. I always remember that commercial way back. A lot of people too young to know this commercial, but that was a commercial called Kids Are People Too. It was a public service announcement. Right. And I love that because I always treat kids like they're people, and I always consider their feelings.
And you should. Bill wouldn't have said the things you said, be for no. That was one of the statements.
Yeah, perhaps he wouldn't. I can't say what Bill would have said.
Right. that you were upset about the tour not taking place?
I canceled the tour. See, if
You don't like the high road?
yeah, that is the high road. that is the high road, defending what's yours.
Right.
If somebody goes at my constituents at District B, they going against me.
Right.
And I'm going to defend my district, and I'm not going to turn the other cheek. I'm going to stand and fight.
And
so,
shouldn't that be what we want from you?
That's what I would think.
I grew up in District B. That's exactly what I would want.
That's what I would think, but that's who I am.
You know, I mean, I can recall, we getting together, just to go play football or basketball in one of the other areas in the neighborhood. We might go over, to Fifth Ward and play some football or some basketball. And you knew going over there that it might get a little hairy before the day is over.
But you stick together no matter what if it go down.
Right.
So I just can't front, man. I can't front on it.
Jealousy. And we'll put these two together, that there was jealousy and the fact that you were disappointed that of all the members that had solo albums and solo careers, and he even actually took the time to say Big Mike, a guy who came to the Ghetto Boys after you left, that even his solo album had greater success than yours, that's part of why you have the attitude that you do toward Bushwick and other people.
When you start talking about being jealous,
right,
dude, Bushwick Bill, I ain't gonna say he the last person, but he close to the last person in the world I could ever be jealous of, because Bushwick Bill never had anything I wanted. Nothing.
Right.
So you'd have to be jealous of, somebody would have to have something that you want in order for you to be jealous of them.
Right. To envy their situation.
They got to have something. They got to have money. They got to have a nice house and cars, clothes, looks. They gotta have a girl, something that you are jealous of. Oh, a good attitude. They,
right.
they have to have
charisma.
Charisma.
Sex appeal.
Something, dude. This is all in dude's head. Again, he playing the victim. This is what happens a lot of times when people start talking. They play the victim. And, oh, poor me. But I'm glad that a lot of people are seeing straight through it, because I've read some of them comments out there. I see every time they put something out there, I read it. I see what's happening.
Right.
If I don't see it, somebody else see it and let me know what's going on. So I see what's happening. And even on their own platforms, people are going against what they're saying.
Right.
That lets you know that people are not buying that.
Well, because a lot of it, and I'll be honest, and it's not a situation where I even need to choose sides or something like that, but just being a level-headed individual looking in from the outside, common sense would tell you that some of those things just don't fit, that are being said, and I appreciate that. But I'll ask you this as we approach the top of the hour. With all the things that you said, like you said, you've been doing work in the community for a long time, feeding the elderly for 30 years, and all the stuff that you've been doing. What makes now? What makes Willie D now? What's the thing that says, okay, I'm ready to actually step and become a politician? Even though you're not a politician, just the definition of being in the world of politics, what makes Willie D ready now to do that?
It's the climate. It's just, I just feel like I've done enough, with all of the other things that I've done. I've done a lot of speaking. I've done a lot of marching and protesting for injustice. I've done a lot of giving, time, money, resources, influence. And even when I came back, when I started getting on social media, not to be relevant,
right,
but to give the information out, share information with a lot of these youngsters who were off track. You see, a lot of our youngsters are out there off track, and people say, well, the youngsters are lost. Well, if the youth is lost, who lost them?
Right.
If we had them and they're lost, then we lost them. So I felt like it was incumbent upon me, just like it is for other men who are the elders, to go out there and give back and share information and mentor. And that's why I started getting on Facebook, doing videos on Facebook, and subsequently doing them on YouTube,
right,
so that I could put the information out there and the resources out there. That's why I got out there. When you start talking about relevance, that's another thing that dude said, the little dude the little dude said was relevance.
Right.
He's doing it to be relevant. I just find it very ironic that the most irrelevant people are the only ones who use the word relevant. You never hear people who got stuff going on using the word relevant.
You know, if I'm your attorney, Will, I'm leaning over in your ear and going, okay, you don't have to go in.
No, it's got to be said because you got to get up off me.
Right.
You know, I ain't the one for real. Like, and that's why I say I'm a man first.
Right.
I'm not a politician first.
Right.
I'm a man first. So don't think because I'm running for city council that all of a sudden I'm going to be a pushover. No, in fact, I'm going to stand more firmer. I'm going to stand stronger because I know you're coming, and it ain't going to be what you think it's going to be coming at me.
Well, I've said many times when I talk to people, they are surprised when I tell them where I'm from, that I grew up in City Gas. And I tell people, well, you know, I mean, that's fine if you don't recognize that or see that, but I'm everything I've ever been.
Let me tell you something, Dave. We are District B.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you go and you start digging up, oh, he said this. This is his past. Oh, he has a felony.
Right.
So what you're basically saying to the people is, vote for me.
Right.
I'm the best guy for the job. I want you to vote for me, but I don't believe in you because you made mistakes in the past.
Exactly.
And you have felonies too.
Right.
You know, your son, your husband, your cousin, your neighbor has felonies, and I'm looking down on them. That's what you're really saying.
Right.
When you start talking about Willie D got a felony, we can't have him represent. Right. You're telling people that because they made mistakes in the past, that they can't do well in the future. That's what you're really saying.
It is.
So bring it. I'm ready for you.
I love that.
I'm ready.
You know, we could keep going, man. We made our way to the top of the hour, man. It doesn't seem like we've been here that long, so we got to get out of here. But before I go, let me give you one more time, Willie D, let the people know where they can find you, you know, how they can support, you know, your run for city council and what they can expect next from you and your campaign.
Yeah, I'm on Willie D Live on all platforms. Willie D Live, my own platform. I ain't got to go on Vlad TV. I ain't got to go on the Breakfast Club, even though I do have access at them. But I got my own platform if I want to be relevant, and that's at Willie D Live. You dig? And also to donate to the campaign. This is important because a lot of times people think that these signs grow on trees. These signs and advertisements grow on trees. They don't. It takes money. So if you want to donate to the campaign, go to williedfordistrictb.com and, you know, drop a donation. And I appreciate you straight up.
Man, that is wonderful. So we made our way to the top of the hour, so I got to get out of here, guys. I promised you that we were going to have a great show today, and I believe we have once again delivered. I am David Austin. You're listening to The Morning Drive with David Austin, the show Underwood Radio, heard exclusively on Houston's Home for Jam.
Willie D for District B. Willie D for District B.
You can't do any better than that. I got to get out of here. Special thank you to my guy, Roy Foreman, for being on the program, talking about Sweet Pea Whitaker. Thank you to my guy, James Joe Jones, for coming in and hanging out on the program for a little bit. And thank you to my guy Willie D, who's running for District B. You hear him right there. You know, and thank you to everybody who took the time to be a part of the program today. I hope you have enjoyed being here with me almost as much as I have enjoyed having you. I am David Austin, and as always, America, it has been your pleasure.
No more talk. No more talk.
Streaming 24/7 from the center of the hip-hop R&B universe. 953 Jamz. Your hip-hop and R&B party station.